My dream for Nigerian sport cannot be unrelated to my dream for Nigeria as a whole. Nigeria would be a great country, a stable country, a peaceful country, where progress will be made in a sustained way, year in, year out, and where we will develop self-confidence in ourselves. We could develop the self-confidence, which is the thing that translates itself to performance on the field of play.
When are we to expect the kind of support that you've been clamoring for in sport?
Well, I think we should put first thing first. The basic support we require is improved infrastructure for sports. By the grace of God, the foundation stone for the Olympic Stadium in Abuja will be laid by August of this year, inshallah. That will be a very major commitment to sports. Considering the size of that, it will be probably second only to the commitment of the Republic of Egypt, the Arab Republic of Egypt, if government went through with that stadium. In addition, and considering our problems in the country for education, funding for education, for health, for funding for roads and bridges and so on, funding for housing and urban development and rural roads and infrastructure, one can't expect more from government. See, government has to do with priority. Other thing that government need to do is not funding per se, just organization. The national policy on education is very clear about the role of physical education. That should be implemented. It has not been implemented. If the Ministry of Education were given the impetus to do what the policy said it should do, we will have got physical education as an integral part of the educational structure of our society right from now. And we should be doing that. But see, again, sports has been the poor relation. Even see our preparation for the Olympics. No team will have gone out until the end of March. That is too late. The Kenyans have been in training for 1 year. 1 whole year. They came from training for the Cairo Games, 600 meter games, went back into training. Our people were disbanded immediately. So we cannot expect to achieve the same result as those who have worked harder and more purposefully. But you see, again, you must realize the emphasis of the main emphasis of this government is the transition program, getting a solid foundation for democracy in this country. A lot of money has gone into the introduction of democracy and infrastructure for it in a way that no other country in the world has ever done. We pray for success of that experiment. When that is achieved, every other thing must follow too, because the type of support that the type of feeling that our athletes have must affect their performance on the field of the play. And if they are not sure about the type of government they have at home, it will show up in the type of commitment that they show. So I think democracy is everything, and what government is doing in that direction is, to me, the foundation for every other thing that we must have as a people. If people effectively participate in the governance of their own country, they will see that everything of pride to that country affects them. So I think from that point of view, I'm not really upset about what has been going on, but we cannot expect too much from the Olympics in Barcelona.
Of sports, I remember that we were in South Korea together in 1988.
When we scored 0.
We scored 0, and when we passed one of the largest countries in Africa. Yeah. Kenya only went with boxing, the boxing team, and athletics, and had over 6 medals to show for it.
6 gold.
6 gold medals to show for it. So for Barcelona.
Yeah, but you see, what happened is that we spend our money in ferrying people across. We don't spend money to train people for the game. It's like a fun game. It's like going on a picnic. You see, these games are not a picnic. But you see, again, it goes back to what Haviland says about seriousness. You know those who are not going to win, and you keep them at home. We know that most of those people who are there are not going to win. what game will those officials play? 134 officials went, if you remember. What game can they play except clap? If they even get round to the stadium at all. I think we should. The Kenyans went with only four officials. They went with a team of 25 with 4 officials.
And finally, you established one of the most successful clubs in Africa a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And from record, you find that you spent a lot of money on it. At the end, you have to disband the club.
Yes.
And so many people in Nigeria have been clamoring again that government should hands off the running of football clubs in the country. Do you think that we have the economic climate for private investors to be able to run this football club based on your own personal experience? And you hinted me again, second, that it is possible for Abiola-based football club to come back as your own contribution to football in Africa. Is that position true?
Well, you see, we've asked so many questions in one, but let me give it to you very briefly because I must go to Port Harcourt now. It is important that one should be very serious with what one wants to do. Nobody can clap with one hand. To clap, you need 2 hands. I can provide the money. I provide even the time. You remember, I followed the team to play their match against Nchanga Rangers. We got to Lusaka. We were told by the NFA that the match would be played in Lusaka. We struggled there on the eve of the match to be told that we'll be playing in Nchanga. I had to beg for a flight to hire to charter an F-27, fly us to Ndola at 10:30 at night, hired a bus from Ndola to take us to through Kitwe to Nchanga, only to find that the bus driver was drunk. So I drove the bus myself for 3.5 hours. We were stopped by armed robbers 3 times on the road. I had to bribe our way through into Kitwe. We got to Kitwe at 2:30 in the morning of the day of the match to find that the officials had left for Kitwe. So we had dropped the boys, made sure they rested quickly, drove the same bus back to Kitwe to look for the officials to bring them back at 7 in the morning to officiate. I was prepared to do that. You see, it's not just money. You need to know what problems these boys faced. We took the boys then on their way back had problem connecting in Addis. They were delayed in Addis for 4 days. I had to wire money for them to eat and so on. Only to find that they were being scratched by Group Captain Obakodo, who said because they did not show up in their quarterfinals match against the Maiduguri side, Academy, at their quarterfinals match in Bauchi. I had to fight to get them to be allowed to play that match. They eventually qualified. With all that, when you look at it, it just occurred to me, what happened if these armed robbers, they opened fire on us near Kitwe? If I had been killed, what would I tell my children? And see, there has to be moderation in everything that one does. But if I hadn't been in that bus that day, the bus wouldn't have gone through. They probably would have been waylaid. People would have been severely injured, if not killed. What for? Some of these things we are trying to do, we must try and dose it with some element of realism. Maybe we need to zone some of these things, as I was suggesting, to carve. You see, the cost of transportation too. How much it cost me in foreign exchange. We played Esperance in Tunisia. We had evidence that some of my boys took bribe to concede that match. Only to find that we go to the airport, an Italian flight was cancelled because of strike. I had to pay in foreign exchange in those days, the whole team and the supporters to London to connect back to Lagos in hard currency. So Mr. P.C. Achebe was there. He was the one who said I should disband the whole team. Only to find that I could hardly find a good team to play in the finals at Challenge Cup. It was a miracle that we won that Challenge Cup. I dismissed 12 of my players. See, these things was too much for me. And I'm not getting younger. At the time of Abiola babes, I was in my early 40s. I'm 54, I'm 54 and a half now. See, these are the things that one must bear in mind. It's not just enough to put and my name connected with something. I want to see that it is very well done. If the Abiola babes, then Abiola has to be there. You see, I had to live in Changa that afternoon. They played the match at 2 o'clock because they didn't want our boss to rest. 2 o'clock in the sun. Our boss managed to drove straight to Lusaka to take the Zambian airline 11-hour flight into London for an important meeting. So I couldn't see to the boys being evacuated. They were stranded in Addis. See, there's so much hassle in all these things. And when it's only one man. My father told me when the cousin was made foreman, my father didn't know it is F-O-R-E. He thought it was F-O-U-R. He said, how can a man call himself foreman? Every man is one man. I mean, don't put him foreman. I mean, I'm only one man. Abiola Babes has virtually returned in Concord Football Club, a professional League Division 2 club. They will carry on. Abiola name will not be there. I think the name is already well known. Thank God. You are in Dakar. What other thing could anybody have wanted in his life? Only Nigeria refused to honor me, and I'm sure they will do that one day. But the whole of Africa has done so. What else do I want? So I don't think I need my name on the football club anymore. God has done that.
Let's round up, sir. Just your dream for Nigerian sports. Few words.
We will get there. But you see, my dream for Nigerian sport cannot be related to my dream for Nigeria as a whole. Nigeria will be a great country, a stable country, a peaceful country, where progress will be made in a sustained way, year in, year out. And where we develop self-confidence in ourselves, we could develop the self-confidence, which is the thing that translates itself to performance on the field of play. You need to see people from smaller countries like Kenya, but you always see them. I mean, you see boys from Ghana when they play, and Ghana is worse off by far to us. We talk about our naira being equivalent to $10. I mean, the dollar being equivalent to 10 naira or 15 naira. One cedi was equivalent to $1 before. It's about 384 cedis now to $1. Yeah, that doesn't affect the Ghanaians. So there are certain things that Nigerians must be able to take for granted, and we will soon be able to do so come January 1993, when we'll have had a democratic government in place. It does not matter who has it. At least it will be a government that Nigerians can claim is legitimately theirs. When that comes, Nigeria will be on the path to self-confidence, which will show itself in everything that we do, including our performance on the field of play. I'm still working it out. You see, if the time is right, if the time is right, and it all depends on a lot of things. I haven't been taking part in this political process since it started in 1987. You need to know the people you are working with, and you need to know that a tree does not make a forest. Like I said, nobody claps with only one hand.
It has to be good.
It has to be so many hands.
But there is general acceptance.
Yeah, there is the attitude of our people that it's about time we had a leader from this part of the country too. That is part of the thing too. But I agree with that. I don't know. See, I'm thinking about it.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
No, I've ventured a lot. You see, a situation where I will have to go through primaries and so on when I haven't really made any preparation. That there are 7,000 wards in this country. 7,000 wards.
You have made
up and down.
preparations. You have.
You think I have?
Yes, I think you have. You don't have to go out there.
That's true.
You have.
The name is already there.
Anyway, we
Wish you luck, sir.
Yeah, thank you. I will be able to let you know about the 3rd or so of March. Okay. All the reports will have come in then. You know, I don't do things without examining them. And although we didn't have time to prepare for this interview, it is clear that the answers showed exercise my mind on all those issues that you raise.
Exactly.
I think about it all the time.
Dear friend, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this wonderful video, I need you to hit the like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you don't miss my subsequent videos. One more thing, go to the comment section, let me know your feel about this video, and finally share this video with whoever you think might find it interesting. Once again, thank you for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.